Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My dear brothers and dear sisters, we were on the course of Hazrat Adam A.S. and his life we have just concluded, and we're now going to reach his son, one of his sons, Hazrat Sheeth A.S, who was the next in line in terms of the Nabis. Now, very interestingly, understand the divide that's now occurred. Hazrat Adam A.S, Sheeth A.S, they continue to live in the mountains, while Qabil took his followers, took his people, his son, his children, out to the valleys. And so there's now two different populations upon the earth that are being populated. Interestingly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delivers a wahi to Sheeth A.S, which becomes a part of his sharia, which is, do not mix with the people who have left your tribe, i.e. the people of Qabil. Before I continue, remember Shaitan in all of this. Shaitan knew he couldn't approach Adam A.S. Why? He's already done him in by going to him in Jannah, so he recognizes him. He knows how Shaitan works, and he's kind of instilled these values upon his children, especially the next Nabi in line, or most proclaim him to be the next Nabi in line, Sheeth A.S. There is a small dissonance of people who say that Sheeth A.S. in fact was not a Nabi, but most authentic narrations do claim that he was the Nabi, and most Mufassirin, they point to him as the next Nabi. Sheeth A.S. continues to live. Shaitan now decides, well, what should I do? I need to be able to convert these people, turn them away from the path of Allah. This was my whole challenge to Allah. This is the reason that I obtained time frame from that time where he was sent upon the earth, because he refused to do sujood to Adam A.S. on that day, to the day of judgment. Now, Shaitan, what he decides to do, and this comes in various parts in the Quran, namely Surah Al-Isra, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says that Shaitan went and used the sawt, the sound of Shaitan. We're going to get to that because he goes to the people of Qabil. Now, Qabil's people, they had very beautiful looking women, and the men were not so appearance-wise very good looking. Opposite, Sheeth A.S, his people, the men were very good looking, the women not so good looking. So Shaitan dressed himself up as a very good looking individual, and when he gets to the tribe of Qabil, he says, I'm from the people of Sheeth. I have dejected from that, I have gone away from them, and I have defected from them, and I wish to join your people. I wish to join you in the valley. Give me a job, take me in. The people looked at a handsome young man who's left the people of Sheeth to come. They welcomed him with open arms. Now, some people say they gave him a job as a blacksmith. Others say they gave him some odd job. But what happened over time is he began to start creating instruments or objects, and he would tap on them with a stick, a drum. He would attach metal, hit it. People began to get together. He would construct a bugle of sorts and blow into it, create sounds. People began to come around. What is these sounds? The reason was Shaitan wanted to tell them, this is how you sin. He wanted to show them a path which was deviant from the path of Allah, so they knew something other than Allah. Remember, all of this is the teachings from Adam A.S. is coming. The teachings of the true nature of Allah, the tawheed of Allah has always been apparent. They don't know how to sin. They don't know what is sin. So Shaitan is now being introduced into their culture, introducing new things into their tradition to be able to teach them, this is how you sin. There is other things to do. Look at how much fun this is. So as these people become more and more inclined towards this culture of music, towards this banging of the drums and the bugle, they start introducing sounds, and they start introducing voice, and they start coming together. Now, he excuses himself from the people of Qabil. Then he goes to the people of Sheeth A.S. And he begins, because he knows his music isn't going to work there. The Nabi is there. So what does he do? He goes straight to the youth, the young men, very good looking young men, sits with them. And he begins to deviate their philosophy. He begins to talk to them and says, why aren't we allowed to intermingle with the people of the valley? Why can't we? What did they do? What's their mistake? Obviously, these people go to their elder, which is Sheeth A.S, and ask them the same. Sheeth A.S, he explains to them the sin of Qabil, what he did, how he murdered Habil, how he was dejected, how he was thrown away from Adam A.S, how he left on his own, really, from Adam A.S, and took the entire people away rather than approach his sin, ask for forgiveness for his sin. And he says this is why. The people, the youth, they were dissatisfied with this answer. They said, how can this be that he's created and their father has committed an error, but the sons will pay punishment? This is the way Shaitan works. This doubt was cast forth. Understand, this is how Shaitan works with us as well. He introduces the waswasa within our brain, the doubts within our brain. We begin to doubt the very wahi of Allah, the Quran. Why did Allah say this? Why can't we be friends with those kind of people? What about this? How about that? Exactly what happened. So, one day these youth, they got together, they're like, we're not really satisfied with the answer of Sheeth. So, Shaitan's like, come with me. Let me show them. They're such good people. They know how to live life. They know how to enjoy. Now understand, this isn't just something that I'm spewing for myself. This is in narrations that come in Tafsir ibn Kathir, mainly, which is what we're using for this series. This comes in very great detail. So they go, and when they go towards the people of Qabil, the people of Sheeth A.S, they begin to hide. And the music is playing. And they become closer and closer and closer. All of a sudden, because the music is so inviting, they don't wish to hide anymore. They come apparent or they're caught. And what happens? The men look at very beautiful women from the people of Qabil. The women of Qabil look at the very beautiful men from Sheeth A.S, and they begin to act in a way which is indecent. They begin to do something called tabarruj, which is exemplifying their beauty, putting their beauty upon display, trying to beguile the men, trying to attract the men with their beauty. The men go back, they call more men. Man, there's a party. That's where fun is. What are we doing over here? Come, join us. Come, join us. So slowly this intermingling happens, which was against the Sharia, which was introduced to Sheeth A.S. And I'm sure Shaitan is probably sitting back, enjoying what he has done. Now this doesn't happen over a few days or over I'm sure this took years of beguiling. And that's how Shaitan works. Shaitan has time until the day of judgment. He has all the time in the world. It's we who are little on time, because it takes one waswasa of Shaitan, one doubt, and if our iman isn't steadfast, what do we end up doing? We start going left and we start going right. We start deviating from the path of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Inshallah, in the next episode we'll discuss what Sheeth A.S. did in retaliation, and then Idris A.S. thereafter. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.